So if California voters get you in the Senate, what's the big difference that they get compared to your two opponents here?
Well, good evening, California. I'm really excited to be having a spirited debate with you about our state's future. Before I was elected to Congress 5 years ago, I was a consumer protection advocate. I took on greedy corporations and Washington officials asleep at the wheel. And what I saw then is what we all know now, which is that Washington is broken. Lobbyists and big corporations spend billions to make sure that their agenda is at the top of Washington, D.C.'s agenda. Special interests have too much power, and we, as Californians, we don't have enough. Let's shake up the Senate. Let's change how Washington works. I'm calling for an end to earmarks, outlawing corporate PAC donations and lobbyist donations, and a ban on Congress members trading stock. We need a leader who puts our interests first, to build housing, to fight climate change, to lower costs, not someone who caters to special interests.
All right, Congressmember Lee, now to you. Remember, the question is, what's the difference between the three of you?
Thank you very much. Good evening. I want to thank our host for this debate tonight and thank all of you for being here. Let me just take a moment also to acknowledge and thank my good friend Congresswoman Waters, who is here tonight from Los Angeles, who has done so much to help push the progressive agenda forward. I want to just say a couple of things about myself and who I am. I have been a consistent progressive who gets the job done, who has delivered for my constituents and will deliver for California. I believe in earmarks. I believe in not being derelict in my duty. California is one of the states that sends money to Washington, D.C. We don't get our money back here at all. And so I believe in targeting and sending money to nonprofits and to organizations that deserve their federal dollars for homeless shelters, for LGBTQ plus health clinics, for education, for housing, for climate initiatives, everything that our community needs. And so I am not going to stand here and say I don't believe in earmarks. I do. I believe that I need to direct federal tax dollars to California.
Got it. We will do more on earmarks a little bit later. Congressman Schiff, to you, the biggest difference between you guys up on stage.
Alex, California needs a senator who can lead in the big fights, but also has a record of getting things done. As you point out, we have a lot of similarities in our voting record, but when our country was threatened by a would-be dictator in the Oval Office, one of us stepped up to the middle of that fight. I took on the president. I investigated him. I led his impeachment when he incited an insurrection against our country. I served on the January 6th committee to hold him accountable. We need a senator in California who's ready to lead in the big fights, but we also need a senator who can get things done. I have a record of getting things done. I prosecuted oil companies as a prosecutor. I took on the health insurance industry to pass a California Patient Bill of Rights. In Congress, I brought back millions to California to build affordable housing. We need a senator who can get things done, and I have a record of delivering.
All right, Congressman, thank you so much. Mr. Garvey, question a little bit different to you because you're not a Democratic member of Congress. We're getting to know your political beliefs. You talk a lot about being a member of team sports in the past. Of course, the Senate is sort of set up like a team sport. There's the Republican caucus and the Democratic caucus. You want to join the Republican caucus. I'm wondering if there's anything that the Republican caucus, who usually votes together, has done recently that you disagree with, and if so, be specific.
Well, let me establish myself first. I think many of you know me. Over 50 years ago, I came to California. The Dodgers brought me up for the day my dreams came true. I put on a uniform. It was also the first day that I came to California. And as I took that cab in from LAX, I saw a vibrant state, a state that was different than my home state of Florida. And that was the beginning of a career, and the beginning of being your neighbor, being a Californian, taking a lot of pride going around the world and representing this great state. But early on, I thought this was the heartbeat of America. California, with its vibrancy, led this country. And then all of a sudden, one party started to take over. There was only one voice in California. And this vibrant state became a murmur. As a conservative moderate, I thought it was time to stand up. Time to stand up against career politicians, Time to step up against those who have created policies that are
We're out of time.
putting this state
But just real
into
quickly, 'cause the
quicksand.
question was, is there anything that you disagree with your party on in the Senate? Is there?
Just about everything.
Just about everything?
No. I'm common sense. I'm compassionate. I'm consensus building. And I think we need to get back to that in California. We can't only talk about it in Washington. We have to start doing something about it. And I think my leadership, based on years of building teams and championships, businesses, will make that difference.